I get why you're hesitating. You've probably spent a few minutes scrolling through endless monitors, worrying that you'll end up with a pricey piece of hardware that just sits on a shelf because it doesn't fit the way you need. You don't want to waste money on something that looks great on the spec sheet but falls flat when you actually try to run a weekly sales briefing or a video conference with a client. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm going to walk through what matters after you click Add to Cart. The Samsung QB85R isn't just another 4K panel, it's a slim, Cisco-certified display that promises to blend into a professional environment without turning the room into a tech circus. The main question is whether the promises line up with the day-to-day reality of a busy office. If you run a small to medium business, a conference room that hosts regular client pitches, or a training space where you need crisp visuals for data dashboards, this screen hits a sweet spot. The fact that it's Cisco certified means you can hook it directly into a Cisco WebEx board or a similar ecosystem without hunting for extra adapters or worrying about compatibility glitches. That's a big win for IT teams that want a plug-and-play solution. On the other hand, if you're a freelance graphic designer looking for a color-critical monitor for Photoshop work, you might find the QB85R's color accuracy decent but not as finely tuned as a dedicated professional-grade monitor. Likewise, a home office that primarily streams movies on a couch may not need the Cisco integration at all, and a less expensive consumer 4K TV could cover those needs just fine. What really stands out once you power it up is the picture quality. Samsung's QMRA dynamic crystal technology spreads 1 billion colors across the screen, so charts, spreadsheets, and even low-resolution video feeds suddenly look richer. The UHD Intelligent Upscaling does a quiet job of pulling standard definition content up to 4K, which you'll notice during older training videos that would otherwise look pixelated. In a real-world meeting, the screen's ability to display fine details makes a difference when you're scrolling through a complex KPI dashboard. Lines stay crisp, gradients don't band, and the overall visual hierarchy stays clear. I've seen teams that used a regular 1080p display struggle to read small text on shared screens. With this 4K panel, the same content appears legible from across a medium-sized room, reducing the need for the presenter to constantly zoom in and out. The drawbacks are mostly about expectations versus reality, not about outright failure. First, the price point sits higher than many standard office monitors, which makes sense given the Cisco certification and the ultra-high-definition panel, but it can be a hurdle for tighter budgets. Second, the design is intentionally slim, which looks great on a wall but limits the tilt and swivel adjustments you might want for a tabletop setup. You'll need a proper wall mount or a sturdy arm to get the most ergonomic use. The unit also lacks built-in speakers, so you'll have to rely on external audio solutions for conference calls, a small inconvenience if you were hoping for an all-in-one package. Finally, there's no USB-C video input, so you'll be connecting via HDMI or DisplayPort, meaning you need to verify that your source device supports those connections, especially if you're coming from newer laptops that favor USB-C. Overall, the Samsung QB85R delivers on the promises that matter most to a business environment: true 4K clarity, reliable Cisco integration, and a visual experience that makes data look trustworthy. If you're setting up a dedicated meeting room, need a display that can handle both high-resolution presentations and older video assets without looking cheap, and you have the budget to accommodate a premium unit, this monitor is a solid investment. If you're a solo worker or a home user looking for a simple TV place monitor, you'll probably find a cheaper alternative that meets your needs. In short, it shines when you need that professional polish without juggling extra adapters. Link is in the description if you want to see the full specs and pricing on Amazon.